3, 2, 1.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy.
Boom.
That's what it is.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's what it is.
Boom.
Yeah.
Fantasy Jesus.
Boom.
I'm here to save your fantasy roster.
Boom.
Fantasy Jesus. It worked for The Rock and it's going to work for me.
Yeah.
Boom.
TSS Fantasy.
Boom.
Yeah. TSS Fantasy.
Boom.
And you just got flandered.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy.
And you just got flandered.
That's what it is.
Boom.
Yeah. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy.
Yeah.
I was getting into the intro so much I forgot to put us in, believe it or not. Hey, listen, I know it's that last final show before we get into football. It's our final checklist show. It's draft week, draft weekend, getting into drafts this week. I know a lot of you guys got drafts going on, so we are here to help you. We're going to talk about some draft day strategies, guys we like, just go through some final checklist, as you will, to get things started. So let's start with the introductions. Welcome to the studio, Justin Jesus Herrera.
Hey, it is right around the corner, the best time of the year. Football season is upon us, everybody. And when you are asking yourself, who do I draft this weekend at the barbecue when you're drinking beers, you know what you do? You go on TSS.com, you check out the rankings, you look at the good stuff that the commish, that Mr. Flanders, that me, the Fantasy Jesus put on there, and you start to go, all right, this is my cheat sheet. Let's go. Let's go win this league, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you win some leagues. That's why we're doing the cheat sheet episode tonight. We're here to give you some good information on how to take that fantasy draft and pocket however much money is in the pot. But anyways, guys, I'm going to let Nick finish it up, and let's get this thing going.
And before we kick it to Nick, just to kind of, piggyback on what you're saying, if you want to get a cheat sheet, we're now set up that way on TSS Fantasy. So when you go into your rankings, you actually can't print our rankings out now. We are official. All right, let's welcome to the studio, Nick.
Shout out to Fantasy Pros. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. All right, I thought I plugged that. My bad. I got distracted. My bad. Thank you, Fantasy Pros. We do appreciate you. Also, welcome to the studio, Nick. You got Flandered Macaronis.
Yes, TSSFantasy.com and Fantasy Pros working together, making your fantasy life that much easier. So anyway, as you're watching us tonight, please just take those 2 seconds and just hit the subscribe button right on. And of course there's Freddie on the right end who can't take the time to be on the screen. Typical Freddie. 6 vacations a year. I don't get it. But hey, apparently he's allowed to do it and I'm not. So here we go. Yes, Fantasy Pros and TSSFantasy.com working together, like I said, to bring your fantasy lives that much better. And kind of distracted by the tennis match. But you know what? I am going to be locked in and ready to go to give you all of my expert fantasy analysis to help you win your league this year. And don't forget to check out our merchandise.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have any big booties in front of me, so I'm not distracted by tennis at all. I will let you know, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching us on YouTube, we are giving away a CJ2K signed football. Get signed up. It's literally all you got to do is click subscribe. It's no big deal, bro. It's like literally that easy. As we've always talked about, it is fantasy season. Get on to Underdog Fantasy. We still have, I put up a contest. I was like 2 people in it. Let's go get in it. I know a bunch of people signed up because I might have signed you up a bit. Get on the contest. It's only $5. It's best ball. And guess what? We're just going to do a draft, and you'll wake up Christmas morning and you have all this money you forgot all about. So get on Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code TSS. We're going to double that deposit. We also now have our eliminator pool and our normal pick pool up as well. We're going to have some fun prizes for that also. So you want to get signed up. It's just a fun way to enjoy it. Speaking of draft season, I am currently, as the intro hit, I was literally up on a pick. I'm on the Mikey Bet show earlier. We're still drafting. I'm doing it now. That's how you know it's fantasy season. Gotta love it, fellas. All right, we got a busy show, as I said, tonight. And I forgot to even say it, so let me do it. Guys, why do we give all away this crazy stuff to everyone?
Because we can.
And you know, if Fred was here, he would say it's because we're the fantasy show of the people.
And because he's not here, we got to do his job.
The fantasy show, the people, indeed. And I just selected Robert Woods later in the night. Gotta love these drafts. It's just that kind of season. The doc is here again. It's fantasy time. You got draft questions and week 1 question starts, quite frankly. So here comes the doc giving us some answers.
Look, I'm a doctor, not an escalator. Spock, give me a hand.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The doctor is in, and it is football time. We got lots of good stuff to talk about and injuries, unfortunately, that plague us. Dr. Miller, welcome into the studio.
Hey, it's great to be here. Let's get right to it. So Najee Harris dealing with the long-standing implication of a Liz Frank injury. So we talked a lot about Liz Frank injuries last year with Travis Etienne, who lost his whole season to one, right? His was severe, requiring surgeries. The story with Harris is that it may have occurred after getting his foot stepped on the first day of training camp, but it may not have happened after that. Depends on who you ask. Harris denies he got his foot stepped on, but he missed about 4 weeks of camp. This is likely a grade 1 Liz Frank sprain, The challenge here is that the Liz Frank region of the foot is the peak of the arch. When you lose good stability there, it's very hard to run, cut, jump, land, anything. So I want to share a personal story with him. In our TSS Listener League draft last week, I passed on Najee Harris with the number 8 pick because I have cold feet about him. Instead, I picked Joe Mixon. I suspect if Mixon has a bad season and Najee Harris has a big season, I may end up getting a little bit heat from the commissioner. So I'm personally concerned this isn't behind him. But the majority of the medical opinion on Najee Harris is that given the grade 1 severity, he should be 100% by game 1. So personally, I'm worried. Medical opinion from the greater community is that he's good. Michael Gallup. So he's coming off his left ACL injury last season and surgery in February. He was a preseason 90% to start on the bench. He said it may be October before we see him play. The most recent update is that Gallup will not start the regular season on the PUP list, but he's also officially out for week 1. So we're looking at mid to late September at best. However, even when he returns, remember the medical evidence said he's going to have fewer games per season, fewer targets per game, fewer receptions per game, and 2 fewer fantasy points per game than had he not torn his ACL. So proceed with caution on Michael Gallup, even if he plays before October. Jalen Waddle, the commissioner's probably excited about this. So he missed a couple of preseason games, but the reports that he's returned to practice. Coach McDaniels expressed optimism that Waddle will be ready for week 1, and he is, quote, very, very, very confident about Waddle's potential to go week 1. This has to be exciting for the commissioner to have both Waddle and Tyreek Hill ready to go. America's team. J.K. Dobbins. Let's move on to the Ravens. We've talked about J.K. Dobbins, I think, every week in the preseason. So he's coming off his 2021 preseason ACL tear and LCL sprain. Hasn't played a game since his 2020 rookie season. Dobbins did not participate in OTAs, but he's been reactivated off the PUP list. Status for week 1 is still unknown, but if he plays, his load is going to be managed, especially with the addition of Kenyon Drake. Personally, I don't see Dobbins starting week 1. I think they're going to be wise to hold back on him a little bit longer. A running back just a few months out from that surgery, again, February surgery, I'm going to be cautious. Let's move to the Cardinals. We got a couple of Cardinal players. Rondell Moore has an unspecified injury that just popped up for us. He's listed as day-to-day. If you drafted him, you were probably thinking this is great. It's his time to shine with Hopkins' suspension, but it may be another week before you get a return on Moore. And lastly, let's move on to Zach Ertz, still playing for the Cardinals. He's been listed for a while as questionable due to a calf injury sustained in early August. According to the coach, he'll be close for week number 1. If you're an Ertz owner, start looking at options in the increasingly likely event he is not ready to go week number 1.
The rookie, Trey McBride, is waiting for you. The best tight end rookie available they selected could be the guy to fill in for Zach Ertz. Might be that little sneaky guy this year. Dr. Miller, we appreciate you. We're going to get back to real football next week. Can't wait to have you in. We'll talk to you then.
Looking forward to it.
So some guys, Doc brought up some questions for week 1. Nick is still watching. He's watching the tennis up close and personal now. As you can see.
my light fell over, so I was trying to fix it.
Hold on, your mic set.
Hold on,
Hold on, your mic.
I was trying to.
Oh, I'm sorry. My light fell over, and I was trying to fix it.
Got you. We appreciate that. All right, let's go on. We're talking about draft day, right? So listen, we wait for this all year, guys. What I want to know from you, guys are getting ready for their drafts, and maybe you've already drafted, but give me I'm going to give some things you do, things you don't do in a draft. So example, I always tell people when I give people advice, don't buy into the runs. It's okay. You might have some type of plan going in. I'm going to go 0 RB. In fact, on my draft, I mentioned that I was thinking 0 RB, and then all of a sudden, all these RBs started coming to me. I'm like, well, I'm abandoning that idea. So don't abandon your game plan, even if you start to see quarterbacks starting to go. Don't feel like, oh, I gotta grab that second tier QB because they're all going to be gone. No, actually, it's good that they did the run. Now it's over with. So just go ahead and pick what's best for your team. And then later on, there's going to be someone else that you can grab. And, you never know, might be the best fit for your squad. Justin, you got something you don't do during a draft or something you like to do during a draft?
Yeah, I'll give you something I like to do before I give you something I don't do. I like to load up my queue. I always like to, depending on what position in the draft you are, you will have time to go through the first 50 to the first 100 players and load up the guys that you want to get on the team. Don't go with just, ADP says, Najee Harris is above Joe Mixon, so obviously got to go with if you're on Joe Mixon, go with Joe Mixon. Just load it all up, and then you go to the queue setting when it's your pick, and then you have your pick of the litter of the guys that you want first off. And then I like what you said about the don't go on the runs thing. Zig when everybody else is zagging. If it's 6 picks down and Justin Jefferson, maybe the best wide receiver in the drafts, are looking straight at you, take Justin Jefferson because you're getting the best wide receiver over getting the 6th or 7th best running back, which is always money. There's always going to be running backs at the end. And my last thing is don't be afraid of the dead zone. The dead zone is not really the worst spot. It's just a spot where the guys that everybody's thinking is money, they're going to be definitely going to be top 15 don't be afraid of those guys. A lot of those guys might end up panning out into something else. Remember, we got Elijah Mitchell last year. We got Damian Harris last year. All these guys that were in the supposed dead zone of running backs last year, and they ended up being pretty good.
Yeah, love it. Love all the advice. Looking good. Nick, something you don't like or you do like for draft day?
Hey, I'm going to follow Justin's suit. One thing I do like to do, especially if you are playing in a league where you have divisions, it's always good to write down your division's picks. That way you can try and better pick out your opponent, your division mates, because if you doesn't matter if you pick well, if you don't get out of your division, chances are you're not going to go to the playoffs. So if you outpick your division, odds are you are going to make it into the playoffs. Another thing that I don't like, and one thing that I don't like to do, and I was victim of it when I was first playing fantasy football. Don't be a homer. Don't pick homer picks. Oh well, this guy is on my team, and I think he's going to be great. And so you can't do that because then you're going to have a bias. You're going to fall in love with the guy, and then you're going to play. Then you're going to play him no matter what, even though it's not a good matchup. So, if my advice, and I even gone this way, and it's worked for me. I've won the title 3 times in our league. Don't pick your guys. Don't pick your favorite players on your favorite team. That way, you can just enjoy watching your team, and you don't have to be worried about, come on, you're killing me points and this and that. And the other hard thing, too, is play with your head, not your heart. So, like, for me, if I have Dak Prescott, and I love Dak as a quarterback, and even though he's a Cowboy, don't be afraid to play him against your favorite team because you know darn well he's going to get he's going to score his points. So don't worry about, well, I can't play him because he's playing against my team. So, and this coming from a guy who quit our league twice. So, anyway, that would be my advice. Don't pick the homer, and also see who's drafting around you and to see who can better their pick.
Yeah. So some great points. I think the main thing to piggyback off Justin is that just because like you're in, go with your gut is such a big thing because you'll sit there and you can second guess everything. Like there's some question beside someone. So go with your gut. So then that way you're like, you know what? At the end of the day, I went with what I wanted and I did.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Don't worry about bye weeks. Don't worry about the bye weeks. You could always stream somebody. Don't worry about bye weeks.
Right. That's correct. That is actually, I was going to get to that, but thanks for interrupting, Nick. Getting on to, don't worry about the bye weeks. That's actually a very big, important point. I literally never worry about it. I don't care. And in fact, in our league, our big league, I think my entire roster is almost on a bye week on week 7. Which I'm like, you know what? I mean, it's two things. It's like, maybe I can find somebody, but you know what? Maybe I'd take an L that week, and guess what? I'm good all season long after that. So,
Exactly.
Don't worry about the buys. Just draft what's the best team. And as we talked about, and that goes too with your lineup too. Go with your gut. Don't second guess yourself. One quick note, and I'll piggyback off of what Nick said. Don't be afraid to start people against your team. The guy that's in our comments section, Mr. Mike, who loves to say in our comments section, came with me a couple years ago. I was playing him the first game. It was Ravens versus Dolphins down in Miami, and that was the game. I benched Lamar. I had Lamar, and I benched him because we were there at the game. I didn't want to see it, and that was the game. Lamar went for like 60 freaking points and killed the Dolphins. So don't be afraid because that was probably the worst car ride back I think you can possibly imagine. All right, let's talk real quick. I wanted to move on to some guys in the draft that you want to always walk away with. Like you're coming out of these, we have a lot of these drafts. We'll just call them the my guys or whatever, but we've done quite a few of these now. So I'll go to you, Justin, first, and we'll just kick it around the round table a bit. Give me some guys that you're just grabbing out of every draft, it seems like, because of the position or if it's because of a guy you like, whatever it may be. Justin, what say you, sir?
So, I mean, I've been taking multiple strategies this year. I've been really letting the board fall to me and where I go. A lot of guys that I'm seeing fall to me are CeeDee Lamb, Michael Pittman, Mike Evans, just to name a few wide receivers. But I've also been I've been very against zero RB for a long time. But I've been finding myself in the past 2 drafts, particularly, walking away with 2 wide receivers in my first 2 picks. And I've been perfectly fine with it, knowing that I could get somebody like an A.J. Dillon, Elijah Mitchell in the next 2 picks. I know Kamish is a big hater of it, but a Breece Hall as well. I'm so happy walking away with those guys because those guys, to me, they're the guys that have the ability to go from RB2 to RB1. And I'm down with that. I'm not going out there and looking at like, oh, this is a Zeke revival year or something like that. If Zeke is there with my RB2, RB3 pick, yeah, sure, I'll take him. But if I got to rely on him as an RB1, I'll pass on that. So, yeah, those are just a couple guys. I really like CeeDee Lamb's potential this year to go off. He's got a target share that's going to be unmatched in this league. And then, Mike Evans, obviously 8 seasons of 1,000 yards, pretty incredible. He's had, I think, back-to-back years of 13 and 14 touchdowns with Tom Brady. Yeah, I mean, and he's got no Godwin. His competition is old, beat-up Julio Jones and Russell Gage, who's never caught more than, I think 6 touchdowns in his career. And then, Michael Pittman, to me, he was my breakout last year, and now it's just more money. It's like cash money at this point, where he's going as your 3rd round pick, your 4th round pick. I'm loving that all day long if I go RB early. I think he's got definite top 12 wide receiver written all over him.
Matt Ryan certainly knows how to fling the ball down the field, so he's certainly not wrong with Michael number one.
And to your point, for everybody who says that Julio Jones never had big touchdown years, he was still a wide receiver 1 every single one of those years. Right. Every single one.
Exactly. And, listen, Mike Evans, great point with Mike Evans, not having Godwin, Julio Jones being, and where he's going, it's shocking to me. People are really passing him over. Hello, this guy, again, if you watch TSS, I'm all about consistency. You can't say any more, anything less. Mike Evans is consistent. So to me, great grab, great thought. Nick, what say you? Is there some guys you're got to walk away with in drafts?
Got to walk away with this year. It's the number one guy is Marquise Brown, and the reason why I say Marquise Brown is because he left Baltimore. He was kind of in limbo in Baltimore. He was the guy, but he really wasn't the guy because you had Mark Andrews there. Now, at least this year, he goes to Arizona, goes back with his old college teammate in Kyler Murray. He is the only guy there for the first 6 weeks. You can really call it the first 7 weeks until D-Hop gets going. So he'd be a steal, especially in the rounds you can get him. Michael Robinson this year is a sleeper because pretty much everyone has put him on the shelf this year because he's coming back from the Achilles. But everything out of camp says he looks good. Etienne's not really ready to be the guy. Michael Robinson has been – not Michael Robinson. I'm thinking the old Penn Stater. James Robinson. He wasn't the guy. He wasn't even drafted, and then he became the man there. So he knows how to do it. And plus, I think he's got the confidence of Trevor Lawrence and the coaching staff. And the other guy, I didn't get a chance to get him this year, and I wish that I would have, but Tom Brady. How do you go against every single year? People this is the year for him to bust. He's getting older. He does it every single year. He gets it every single year. So if you have a chance to get Tom Brady, let people laugh at you. And then you can laugh at them when he throws for 35, 40 touchdowns. And Kirk Cousins. I'm telling you, this is the year to go out and get Kirk Cousins. Get him if you can.
Yeah, so to piggyback, I'm gonna kind of give you the counter to Tom Brady. Questions on the line now, and you have Giselle not happy at home, he's out playing football, and we can laugh at that all you want, but you guys know when the old lady's not happy with you, no matter what it is, things don't quite go correctly, and if things start to pile on, I don't know, man. I think this could be the year we're going to see the hate to say demise of Tom Brady. I think he's just gonna fall back a little bit from what we're used to seeing. I mean, it could be. All right, going on to let's get off the flop. So we'll talk about those guys. I was gonna bring up Kirk Cousins as well. I love what that offense has done. I love what this guy just took the guy I wanted. See, I got his draft while I'm doing this. So again, that offense has made some good changes. They're going to be passing the ball a lot. So you got to like Kirk Cousins. And guess what's really cool about Kirk Cousins' situation? That defense ain't really good neither. So that makes a perfect situation for Kirk Cousins, quite frankly, as far as fantasy is concerned. Trey McBride, I brought him up during the doc segment. Zach Ertz, question marks him, his injury. He ended up finishing pretty good last year. If you get Trey McBride here in this offense, especially early. Obviously, he's going to be the main tight end for this high-paced offense. And if he shows work, I mean, who knows? We don't know what's going on with the Zach Ertz situation. So I like Trey McBride. I like to walk away with him. Allen Robinson, I brought him up a million times. He's rising up the ADPs a little bit, but you can tell he is definitely he's definitely the guy. He's definitely the guy that you want to grab in where he's getting. Sorry, I'm getting distracted with Justin's little comments. DeAndre Hopkins, he's the other guy. You brought him up a minute ago, Nick, but I am seeing him fall a lot. Michael Thomas, another one. People are afraid of these guys. Michael Thomas, guys, don't forget, he was like the #1 overall pick a few years ago, like overall. So it's just silly to me how far that he's dropping as well. So I'm gonna go Michael Thomas. I gotta walk away with him because people are just giving him to me. Same with Hopkins. It's only 6 games, guys, and when he comes back, look at that target share he gets. It's Kyler Murray, that offense, and it's DeAndre Hopkins. What are we forgetting about, guys? So those are guys I would definitely be targeting and looking at in your drafts. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. I got something a little fun playing for the fellas here. They didn't even know about it yet, so we'll check it out when we get back.
Hayden, we love fantasy football. We do? It's a fantastic game, yet still not perfect. Like, I hate leaving high-scoring players on my bench.
The worst, man.
In fact, hate it even more when I put injured players and they're in my starting lineup.
Can't have that.
And I need a life. The waivers, the trades, every single week, it grinds on me. So we at Underdog Fantasy want to make fantasy football easier for everyone out there. It's called Best Ball, and we set your optimal lineup for you each and every week. You can do it all year long. We have drafts going all the way from February to week 1 of the NFL season. What are you waiting for? Use our awesome early sign-up offer to get a little extra something on that first deposit and that first time you play on Underdog Fantasy.
You put 'em up, reach the skies, touch the stars up above, cause it's one time for the underdog, one time for the underdog.
On TSS, we are a learning show. Like, we like to learn things, right? I mean, that's what we do here, but we do it in a fun way. So tonight, you guys know I love to talk about consistency. So tonight, I set up a family feud between you two on consistency. So let's play the feud. Brad?
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. It's going to be a long game. All right, it's Fantasy Feud time. Justin v. Nick. And tonight we're talking consistency. So what I did is I went back to the Wayback Machine. Not too far way back. We went back.
Like yesterday?
The past 2 seasons. And I want to know from you guys, I got the top 5, or sorry, for the first one, it's top 4. Yeah, it is 5, my bad. Top 5 answers on the board. What I want to know from you guys is going back from this year and last year. I want the quarterbacks that have made the top 10 in from this year or from last year and the year previous.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Brady is correct. Number 3 last year and number 8 the season before. All right, Nick, you got control. Who else you got?
Okay, for the slow people, I just want to make sure. Can you just read the question one more time so I don't get an early X?
We're looking for the top 5 looking for the top 10 QBs who made it in the top 10 as far as fantasy from last year and the year previous.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. And by the way, Brady was number 3 last year and number 8 in the season before. So, and Lamar Jackson not on the list, sir.
Top 10. Herbert.
Justin Herbert. Herbert, number 2 last year, number 9 in 2020.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. That's the easiest one on the list. Number 1 last year, number 1 year prior. All right,
So
next you got Josh Allen, you got Brady, and you got Herbert. There's 2 more left.
And I got 1 strike.
Yes, sir.
Man. Oh. Russell Wilson. I know that's going to be next.
Wilson. That's right.
I'm going to miss an obvious one, too.
Well, they're all obvious at this point. So.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Hold on, I got to get back to my screen here. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, number 6 last year, number 3 in 2020. So we got 1 left with 1 strike. The Bombers here is trying to help you out. He thinks it's Kyler Murray. You want to use that phone a friend?
Am I allowed to?
If you can use it if you want.
Sure. What the hell? Let's go with Kyler Murray.
You know it was wrong if Mike brought it up.
Oh, hell no!
Well, truth be told, I had a brain fart anyway, so I just figured.
Yeah, all good, my friend. It's all in good fun. Justin, can you steal it?
I set it up for him.
Say again?
Patty Mahomes.
Patty Mahomes.
God, I suck. I set it right up for him.
Great steal. Talk about consistency. Pat Mahomes 4 last year, 4 year prior. So check.
Nick just went, here you go, Justin. I said,
yeah, I did.
Oh.
No, I said, here, sir. Here we go.
You're very kind, sir. Thank you so much.
I try to be kind to my friends.
All right, let's go to round 2, and guess what? We're gonna go to running backs, and this list gets even harder. There are only 3 running backs from this year and last year. Who you got? Or I'm sorry, last year and the year prior. I keep saying that wrong.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Zeke. I gotta pull this. I got the thing up because Mike wanted to comment and say he was sorry, Nick.
That's fine.
He's like, it's okay, Mike. Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott is on this list. He was where do I have him at? Number 9. He was number 7 last year and number 9 in 2020. You got 2 more on this list, my friend.
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook.
Ooh, I thought that was money.
Ooh. All right. Now so let's see. Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. This one ain't easy. I said it's only 3 of them. It's not easy, friend.
Man, there's like a top 5 that you want to go with, but there's like one guy I'm really unsure about, but he's also the one guy that I'm thinking about right now. I'll go with it. Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara. That is correct. Alvin Kamara, he was, where do I have him at last year? And he was, I got this list all messed up, but he was number 1 in 2020. I don't know where he was last year, but anyway, he was up there.
Nice. I think you're up.
Yeah, you're up.
You're up on the draft.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's kicker. It's the last one. No, it's just a kicker. So whatever. I'll let that one auto draft. All right,
Kickers need love too.
You got 1 left, my friend. 1 guy remaining.
All right. Oh, man.
Kamara 8 last year. I finally read it right.
Leonard Fournette.
Lenny Fournette. All right, one strike left.
No, that was the third strike.
That was it. He's done.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah,
my
that was the third strike.
God.
I have never heard someone say so many wrong things, one after the other, consecutively in a row.
He
All
tried
right.
to give you a fifth down.
I know. I really did. And he would have got away with it if it wasn't for you damn kids. All right, Nick, what say you, Freddie? Can you steal it?
The only guy I can think of is Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. Good guess. Derrick Henry, not on this list. The guy that we were looking for, Jonathan Taylor, number 6 the year prior. You know he was number 1 last year. So that was the guy we were missing. By the way, to go back to the QB list, there is only, out of those 5, there are 3 of those who are also in the top 10 in 2019. I meant to ask you then. I won't waste much time, but it's Josh Allen, number 6, Pat Mahomes at 8, and Rodgers 10. So that's 3 years for those 3 guys in the top 10. And actually, since we just did the QB, just did the running backs, there is one of those running backs that was actually in the top 10 all 3 years out of Kamara. And who was it?
Ezekiel Elliott.
Incorrect. The correct Alvin Kamara. He was number 9 in 2019. All right, let's move on to the receivers. It's the same question, guys. The 2020 to 2021, whatever the fucking years they were. We're looking for the top 10. They both, in 2 years consecutive, top 10. Who is your guess?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. Believe it or not.
Say Adams.
What?
Should specify and said PPR too. I'm sorry, Devontae Adams. That is correct. He was number 2 last year and number 1 in 2020. So check that out. All right, Justin, you got control. There are 4. You have 3 more answers, so 4 total.
All right. Let's see. Top 10. Man, I should have just let Nick take this one.
You can give it to me. You can give it to me.
No, let's do this one. Oh shit. Man, I want to say Cooper Kupp, but I know it's gonna be wrong. But you can just buzz it anyways. It gives me a little bit more time.
My little Cooper Kupp.
He was 4 in 19, but I think he was like 19 in 2020.
Because of injury, correct.
Yeah. Man, oh man. Oh, shoot. Who am I missing? DeAndre Hopkins?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, the cheetah.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had like an America's team correct answer. Tyreek Hill, he was number 2 in 2020, and last year he was 6. So you got Adams and Hill. You got 2 more left.
Adams and Hill. Let's see. Who's been in the league long enough of the young guys? God damn. What am I on? 2 strikes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are.
2 strikes. Okay. I don't know why I'm not getting it, but you could just throw me a 3rd strike.
Wow.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had the cat, and then they put Sierra on the screen too, so I was really distracted. Holy crap! Crap.
So there's 2 left on this list. He has Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill.
Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson.
He was top 10 his rookie year?
Fantasy Pros has him listed. This is PPR too, mind you. Number 4 last year and number 6 the year prior. So good job, Nick. You're up 2-1. We're moving on to tight ends.
Wait a minute.
I think I'm up 2-1.
Justin's up 2-1
How is he up 2-1? Didn't you?
because
just
he won twice.
I thought you won the first one. Am I
No. I
Okay.
gave it to him on the first round.
Oh, he
Yeah.
could have closed it out there. I didn't even know that. Check it out. But I'm gonna
Nice. 6 downs for you. Holy crap.
tonight. What's going on tonight? All right. Let's move on to the tight
Flag
ends.
off the field.
Tight ends.
Double doink.
There's only 4 tight ends. There's only a few of these guys that repeat. That's why I'm bringing these guys up because again, consistency is key in fantasy. Only 4 have made the top 10 the last 2 years.
Travis Kelce.
I heard it first.
Son of a bitch.
Won't get much easier than that. But let's see who else he's got. What else you got, Nick? There's 3 left.
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews.
This is the easiest one.
You got 2 left, sir. By the way, if anyone's curious, Mark Andrews, number 1 last year, number 6 the year prior, and Travis Kelce, 2 and 1 prior.
And you said it was the last 3 seasons?
No, last 2. Just 2.
Last 2. Oh, I'm going to try and be cute here. Gronk.
Gronk on the list, number 8 the year prior, and then 6 last year.
Kittle.
George Kittle.
Waller.
Voila. One strike, 1 guy left.
It can't be this guy. And I'm gonna shoot myself if I miss it. Dallas Goedert.
Dallas Goedert going with the homer selection.
Stop it. Get some help.
There you go, Justin. Another one for you.
For a chance to steal it.
I'm going to go with the homer selection that you should have chose, Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz.
Oh,
you guys. I don't know why. It's you just got to look over here to America's team. It was Mike Gesicki.
No, it was not.
Consistency is key. Number 9 last
Mike
year.
Gesicki?
Number 7 the year prior. Consistency, guys, is key.
Wait a minute, Penn State didn't count in that.
Right,
Penn State didn't count.
We're going to the final countdown, and we're going to go to defenses. So we're going to really test your knowledge here,
Bills.
guys. And I'm going to make this even harder because in 2 years, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 answers. I don't want it to go that long. So we're going to go the last 3 years, and there's only 3 answers. So there's only 3 teams in the last 3 seasons who have been top 10 in defenses.
Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills.
Pittsburgh.
The Steelers.
I'm going to go with the damn Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys.
It should be obvious too. How about the Bucks?
The Bucks, the Tampa Bay Bucks. They're there. One left with 1 strike remaining.
Top 10 last 3 years, correct? Chit. Colts.
The Colts.
I knew that was wrong because of the way you said it.
Justin, can you steal?
Rams.
The L.A. Rams. That is not correct. The correct answer, New Orleans Saints. Top defense in the last 3 years. Congratulations, my friend. And in case you guys were curious, the teams in the last 2 seasons that were top 10, we got the Colts, America's team, the Saints, Bucks, Bills, and Cardinals for the last 2 seasons. So those are your defenses are in top 10. All right, let's take one last quick break. When we get back, we got some Flanders flops. We're going to talk about ADP risers and some guys that we just don't really care to talk about anymore. We'll be right back, and we're going to take a quick break and watch how your Sunday morning experience, by the way, is about to take off. Every Sunday morning, check us out, 8 a.m., now included on the Fantasy Football Network and included as well. So check out our Sunday morning lineup.
It's a beautiful morning.
It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy. It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time.
How the fuck you got me up this damn early, Jason?
It's time. Our Sunday Fun Day lineup really is going to be exciting. We got Mikey Betts coming in with bets. We got Fancy Jesus going to make an appearance with his commandments in the Sunday morning. We got Brian coming in with the injuries. We got lots of great stuff cooking for you for Sunday, so you want to make sure it's going to be a special show. Make sure you check that out. All right, now we're going to talk about some guys that we don't like, and we made a nice little name for those guys. If you haven't watched us before, because Nick he's always hating on everybody, we just figured we'd call it Flanders Flops. Let's check it out.
Calm down, diddly 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 diddly. They did their best, shoddily iddly iddly diddly. Gotta be nice, hostility diddly biddly diddly. Ah, hell, diddly ding dong crap! Can't you morons do anything right?
Gucci flip flops, make a kick rock. This a big clock. Check the wristwatch. Gucci flip flops, fuck you, hit your bitch and massage. This a big watch, diamonds dripping off with a clock.
You just wanted to play that song.
I did. I missed it. It's been a long time, you know. We didn't have a cool graphic now. Now we got a cool graphic to go with it. So I'm super excited. All right, let's talk about the guys that we don't like, guys. You know, guys, we're looking at this draft like, oh my God, get this guy away from me because I do not want to draft him. I'm going to just start us out real quick because I'm just going to throw something out there that's like, you know, right in the top of your draft that I just cannot believe I'm seeing him going. He just went number 1 overall. Christian McCaffrey. I am sorry, guys. This doesn't make any sense to me. Now, as I got into discussion with Owen on the Mikey Bet show, because he's the one who selected him, he made the comment and the point that when Christian McCaffrey was on the field, regardless of how he got hurt, he was still top. He was number 6 in average for a running back. So that's a good point, but point still being 10 games in 2 years. I cannot count on that. I cannot rely on that. And I'm more worried about the end of the season, more or less, because that's when I really need Christian McCaffrey. And if he's already, you know, on the injury list, there's no point there. Another guy I don't like, Lamar Jackson. And I know everyone's like, what? Lamar? But listen, he took one of his top threats away. I don't know why everyone's like, you know, in shock over this. And guess what? This is an offense predicated on a running game when they have nobody to run the football. Makes no sense to me. I don't like the Ravens at all, actually. We're going to talk about it on a prediction show. I don't like them at all this season, actually. I think they're going to struggle. I think Lamar's going to struggle. I think he'll be good in some games because Lamar does have that tendency to take games over. But what weapons does this guy have right now? I just don't see it. And DK Metcalf, for obvious reasons, you know, a lot of people are like, well, it's still DK Metcalf. Well, it's still Geno Smith. So, again, somebody I'm staying away from personally. All right, Nick, we'll go to you. This is your deal. So you tell us some guys that you are walking away from, some floppies for you.
You know, I thought you were going to mention your best friend. I thought you were going to mention J.K. Dobbins.
I'm going to save that. I'll figure somebody else. I've said it so much. I was like, what's the point?
You know, my number one guy is Ezekiel Elliott. I've been looking at stats. I don't have him in front of me, but he's been on the downslide every year for the past 4 years. His run per average is dropping by consistently half a yard every single season. And now that Tyron Smith is out, they said a stat that literally floored me the other day. When he's out, they average 1 yard less per carry. So again, with him being out, and then they got no Cooper to take the top off the defense. CeeDee Lamb is unproven as a number one. And then they got Schultz. And then who else they got to throw to? Here, seriously. So and then you got Pollard coming in to steal carries and to steal receptions. So with all that convoluted mess going on, I don't see him coming up with a whole bunch of points this year. I think last year, he averaged 85 yards a game. It might be down to 70 yards a game this season. He might be, I hate to say it, guys, but he might be touchdown dependent this year. I really, really do. Another guy, I'm thinking about it, this in the current situation up in Cleveland. I'm not going to Amari Cooper. I'm going Nick Chubb for the same reasons in Cleveland. They got a beat up offensive line. Jacoby Brissett ain't scaring nobody. Okay, so what offense do they have? They're going to stack the box. They're going to try and give it to Chubb every time. He may get injured. I hope he doesn't. But when I say flop, he's not going to ball out like he usually does the past couple seasons, because at least with number 6 back there was a threat of a deep pass. You had some good receivers that can get under the ball, and he can. Number 6, he could chuck it up there. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But when you got Jacoby back there, and then you got Antonio trying to get run around for his life out there, trying to get open, it's not going to happen. So then they got to resort to the run. I'm sorry, not Antonio, Amari. Then they're going to bring in Hunt. And I remember somebody on this show a few years ago, he had Nick Chubb on his team, and he said they give it to Nick Chubb every time, except when it comes to the goal line. Here comes in MFing Kareem Hunt and steal a touchdown. Well, guess what's going to happen? That probably may project to happen this year. I may be wrong. For you Nick Chubb owners, I hope I am wrong. But in the words of Charles Barkley, I doubt it. So I'm going to tell you right now, Nick Chubb, I kind of stay away from. And then Cam Akers, I'm just off the Cam Akers train. I'm not sold on Cam Akers at all. Just I'd avoid him at all costs. And then just throw in there and Antonio Gibson too. Because again, RBC up there, he says he's going to return kickoff and punts, and it's like, why? So I would just stay away from them.
I think people are starting to get what I was saying, how Nick loves to hate. I mean, he's just like, wait, I got another one. Hold on, I got some more. Hold on, wait, sit down. I got some more for you. He's that guy. All right. The only thing I will say about Ezekiel Elliott, yes, you're right. He did average, but guess what? He was still in PPR. I was just looking at it. He was on the Fantasy Feud just now. He was number 7 last year, regardless of whatever you want to say. I mean, now, good point about the line. There's definitely going to be some questions there. And Pollard and this offense, a lot of questions. So you're definitely right on that. Justin, what say you, sir?
Yeah, so I'll keep mine short. I don't hate players. I hate values. So I can find a good value out of a player. If I get Ezekiel Elliott in the 5th round, I'm fine with it. If I have to take him in the 3rd, I'm not so cool with it. But here's a guy who's going 2nd, 3rd round that I'm like, no way in hell. A.J. Brown. Ooh. Tell me what is different this year from his last year's situation. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to get. I'm waiting for you to say something.
Quarterback, a different system, a different.
team. No. I'm saying, like, tell me what the quarterback is an upgrade in. Running the ball, that doesn't help AJ Brown.
Wait,
right? Ryan Tannehill was a much more accurate quarterback than Jalen Hurts was. Jalen Hurts he's really just he's not a good quarterback. He's a good runner, but not a great quarterback. So now you got to feed 3 options. You got to feed Devontae Smith. You got to feed Dallas Goedert. You got to feed A.J. Brown when you couldn't effectively feed one of them last year. But now you got to feed all 3 of them. Everybody's saying, oh, he's the main guy out of camp. We know what that means. He's going to get double teamed. That's all that means. You're going to get double teamed. So I think you're going way too high on A.J. Brown. Another guy, surprise, Austin Eckler. Way into him last year, not so much this year. You know why? Because he's valued at like the 4th pick in the draft. I mean, 20 touchdowns is hard to follow up.
And he said he wants less touches.
Yeah. And they just brought in Sony Michel, which is maybe guaranteed to take away some of those goal line touches. I mean, he's going to at least get a couple touchdowns poached. I mean, I don't think he's going to return the value he did last year. And the final guy, I'm with the doctor, Najee Harris. I don't like the fact that his game is predicated on volume. If he's got more volume, that means that, yeah, he's good for his numbers, but it also means he's getting hit more. He wasn't really elusive. He's not that type of back. He's more just a guy who just gets the ball in open field and can get you those 4 or 5 yards, move the chains. But if you're not able to evade tackles, if you're not really the best at breaking tackles, and you already got a bum foot going in, I'm sorry. If my car's got a bum tire, I want to change that tire. I can't change that foot. So every single time he's out there running on that foot, getting hit, somebody lands on that foot, I'm going to be worried that my value at pick 6 is going to go down the toilet. Kind of like how Commissioner was just talking about Christian McCaffrey. I am that level of worried about Najee Harris.
I mean, there's definitely reason to be concerned. You're spraining your Liz Frank when someone stepped on your foot. You need your feet, as you mentioned, as a running back. So, and he is going to get a lot of volume this year, period. So it is a little nervous, but if he stays healthy, he's in this offense takes off. I mean, he could be a big fantasy. We could go either way anyway. All right, let's move on to some grades. We got some people sent some grades, sent some teams in. They want us to grade. Can't even believe it that people are reaching out to us. Wow, we've grown up a little bit on Instagram and all kinds of stuff. So check it out. Here's the first team. This is Moon Cutter. He actually reached out on Twitter. I think we all heard this. We remember Mr. Moon Cutter, I think, on this show. But there's his team. This is a redraft PPR team. QB wise, I mean, you gotta love Herbert. He's got Fournette and Chubb and Damian Pierce. So again, like the running backs here, Pacheco as well. That's deep. And Cooper Kupp as the number 1. Gabriel Davis. I'm not sure. Darnell Mooney. I'd kind of even push him down this list a little bit. Once Gallup gets back, could see some volume there in that Cowboys D. He's got Schultz as well. And 49ers D. So let's go around. Justin, what do you say about this team? You like, don't like, what's the grade?
Yeah, it's very middle of the road. I'd like to see if this was a 12 or a 14 team. I mean, when you're getting, Pierce, Pollard as your RB2s, your RB3s, it's not really the greatest thing. I mean, Fournette and Chubb. Sure, Fournette's a good PPR guy, but Chubb's not really that guy. Herbert, I like Herbert. I imagine this is a single QB league, so I don't know if he paid top dollar for Tannehill either. Kupp, Mooney, and Davis. Kupp and Davis look good. Garrett Wilson might be a little bit of a stretch, depending on how that Jets offense really pans out. Gallup is a guaranteed almost at this point 4-game, out. So, I mean, that's a guy that you're down. I like the Schultz pick because you guys know I'm big on Schultz getting a huge target share this year. Not big on Uzama. I think that Conklin's going to be a little bit better. And then obviously I'm a Niners homer, so I think that's a great pick. But I would grade this out to be about maybe a C+, borderline B-.
Moon Cutter, a C+, B- for you. Nick, I'm going to give you this one. This is Stay Humble. You reached out to us on Instagram. So automatically you see Josh Allen, QB's got Matt Ryan to back him up. He said specifically when he sent it over that he does not like his running back. So that was an obvious point.
That makes 2 of us.
But great receivers. Look, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, even Robert Woods, Lazard. He's got some guys that could really stand out this year receiver-wise. Tight end, he's got Waller. If he stays healthy, could be big. Ingram and then Carlson for kicker, and then everyone seemed to be grabbing Carlson and Saints defense. By the way, before I go to you, Nick, if you are watching us on Belly Up TV, switch on over to our YouTube channel so you can finish out the rest of our show. Nick, what do you say for this grade?
I actually like this team with the exception of his running back core. Now, I don't like Akers. I'm out on Sanders. Robinson could be a sneaky sleeper, and I do like his handcuff of Madison and Pierce. And I like Pierce much better now because they just cut Marlon Mack. He's got a great receiver room, and I do like his tight end. And he finishes up with Carlson. I think he's going to get some very valuable points in there. I'd give him B+ on this, and I would give him an A if he had some better running backs.
Yeah, got to beef up that right. He's aware he's got to make some moves, and we talked about now that once your draft is over, be ready to be on that waiver wire, guys. That's mucho importante. The draft is never won on draft day. Justin, I'm going to go to you on this one. This guy in particular, I just wanted to hear someone. His name is Big Mouth.
Is this Greg's team?
No, this is Mike's team. So I didn't want to tell. I wanted someone who was out of our league because somebody said he had a good team and that's all this guy needed. He was like, "Oh my God, I have the best team ever." So Josh Allen, obviously I love Josh Allen. He got nobody to back him up though, so he's got no kicker neither, mind you, because this is what the weird thing Mike does. He'll wait right before the actual gameplay, and he's going to drop someone to get a kicker because he wants to make sure no one gets it for some reason. So as you see, look at these running backs. It's like a plethora of twos and backups. He's got Tony Pollard. You could play Chase Edmonds. I'll be honest. During this, and no one watches America's team like me. Raheem Mostert, man, oh my God, he looks like the real deal. And if he can stay healthy, I'm more excited about Raheem Mostert than I am Chase Edmonds. Chuba Hubbard, obviously to back up Mr. Glass, McCaffrey, Benny Snell. He's got Don Foreman in there. Diggs, Metcalf, Thielen, Chris Olave, Robert Woods he does have a great receiving core. I'm going to give him that. When Tyler Boyd is like your 5th, 6th receiver, I mean, you're doing well. George Kittle and then Ravens D. All right, my friend Justin, what do you give this? Tell Mike what you think of his team?
Well, first off, from one Raheem Mostert fan to another, if you're going to call Christian McCaffrey Mr. Glass, you better call Raheem Mostert Mr. Paper.
I knew he was going to go with Paper. I knew it.
If he stays healthy, all right, to be fair.
That man tears everything up. I don't even know if he's made it 10 games in the past 2 years.
Mr. Paper. And we ain't talking about money either.
But, I mean, yeah, your boy, Mike, he definitely overcompensated on the shitty running backs. I would imagine that's where he's going to go as far as like getting rid of somebody for a kicker. I mean, Edmonds, Pollard, McCaffrey. Where was this guy in the 2nd and 3rd round? Was he digging? Well, he went straight for Diggs. I like Diggs, and I like Metcalf. I'm a huge Metcalf fan. Thielen, perfectly fine. Olave, his receiving core looks top notch to me. I think up and down the line, if it was just as a receiving core, I would give this guy an A. But you get to everything else, you're like, Josh Allen, sure, good job. McCaffrey, I'm with you guys on that. I don't think you can have, 2 guys that are maybe RB 2-3s and have McCaffrey be like that shaky starter for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to have somebody like a Chubb back there or somebody else that can really lead the way if and when McCaffrey goes down. Kittle, huge Kittle fan. And the Ravens D, I mean, they always seem to put it together. So I think it's a good pick. Overall, this team though, C-. Definitely a C-. I'm being nice, Mike. I'm sorry.
I can't wait to clip this and send it to our league text.
By the way, Benny Snell is now their 3rd string running back.
Right. I mean,
Benny Snell still has a job. Oh, Ronald Jones still has a job.
That was the big thing that really. I mean, Benny Snell's one that really stuck out. I mean, there was a lot of things that stuck out here. I was like, Benny Snell, what's up? Why is he even on your roster? It didn't make any sense. And by the way, a couple things I want to add. In our league, actually, if you go in it, there's some good people I want to grab, and I can't because I think my squad's that good. So I can't believe this guy's rostering Benny Snell, and there's a couple of guys. I'm not even going to tell him who it is, but there's a couple of guys. I don't even know why they're not on anyone's roster right now. So again, Mike, like you said, big point here. Christian McCaffrey is his solid RB1. That's the only one, and it's Christian McCaffrey. This was taken, by the way, with the number 2 selection. Don't like it. Hate it, Mike. Your team's garbage, period. All right. Now, the one thing he does have, I don't want to take too long because we're already over the hour, but the one thing he does have that I do like is Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, what we call stacks, of course. So that was a new term to me. I just called it the combo before. So stacks, that's a cool way to say it. I like it. Let's kick it around real quick as people are drafting. Give me, and I'll go to you first. Give me some stacks that you're looking to grab during your drafting period.
So I'll go with a cheap stack you can get. Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, and Alan Lazard. Because Aaron Jones is getting some passing TDs as well. Alan Lazard looks like the number one out there. And Aaron Rodgers. All those guys you can get from about I think you can get Aaron Jones in the 3rd. You can get Alan Lazard in the 10th, and you can, in single QBs, you can get Aaron Rodgers in the 10th. So very reasonable stack you can get. Obviously, if you're going for the high volume numbers, go out and get Herbert, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, one of those guys paired up with him. And you can even throw in Austin Eckler in there as well, because he will be getting attention from Justin Herbert. And then, like you said, the Allen stack is always just so good. And at that point, I always say, a lot of people are always don't get 2 receivers from the same team. When you have that good of a quarterback, who gives a shit? Give both receivers. Get Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs. You can get them at a reasonable price. Gabe Davis will go in the 7th. Diggs will go in the 2nd. You'll have a whole complete team. You're good to go.
Yeah, so I have another little thing after we get done with that. So I'm going to keep on that Gabe Davis. We're going to get back to that in a second. Nick, give me some stacks you like.
Okay, I'm going to go with some sleeper stacks that I think are going to be help some people out this year. I like Matt Ryan and Michael Pittman. Obviously, Matt Ryan would be the sleeper in this deal. You can get him cheap in the lower rounds, and you can get Kirk Cousins and Jefferson. Obviously, you're going to take Jefferson in the 1st or 2nd round, and then Cousins you can wait around 10, 11, 12. And then, of course, the old mainstay is the dynamic duo of Brady and Evans. Can't go wrong there.
Can't go wrong at all. And, the funny thing is, I'm going to totally counter Justin and let him know that my stack is A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. That's what I like this year.
Funny thing, we're drafting.
That's not going to be a cheap stack, Coop.
And it's my turn to draft. And Cooper looks up at me and he goes, "Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Nick. Don't do it."
I thought you've been talking about A.J. Brown. Don't draft him. Don't even do it, bro. You've been talking all that smack. I don't want to hear it.
I didn't draft him. I took what round was that? 2nd round?
Yeah,
I took Fournette.
Yeah, I don't think it was it definitely was not 2nd round. But all right, let's go on. A couple things I wanted to point out that you were pointing out. Gabe Davis, you were talking about having. Oh, one thing before I get to that, I wanted to go a little bit cheaper on a stack. How about this stack? Davis Mills, Brandon Cooks, and your boy Pierce. I mean, that's you. If you want to talk about a cheap way, you want to stack something, get some meat and potatoes, and then stack that, might not be a bad little combo for you this year.
That's called champagne on beer money.
There you go. Exactly. And you never know if you're going to some of these 0RB strategies, whatever you're doing, you never know. You might need to do that. Go ahead.
That's the Miller High Life of stacks right there.
Oh, Jesus.
That's more like the Cisco and Mad Dog, I would think, actually. All right, let's go to I wanted to go to Gabe Davis. You brought him up real quick. And so I actually have, here I am, Mr. Fantasy Expert. I'm questioning my first lineup. Like, what do I do here? So I have Gabe Davis and Allen Robinson, and look, they're playing it together. And the only problem I have, the question is because I also have Dawson Knox too as my starting tight end. So I'm just like, do I go Gabe Davis? Do I go Allen Robinson on the other side? Point is, I just don't know. So I wanted to ask you guys, who would you rather?
Okay, here's a shot out of a cannon. Oprah, Barbara Walters, your wife. You gotta fuck one, marry one, kill one. Go. I think we're done here.
All right, so Allen Robinson, it's TSS.
Nothing but class on this show, I'll tell you what.
TSS after hours, ladies. All right, so give me Give me, I'm going to ask you guys, and let's just talk all season. We'll just talk week one. But give me a guy. Would you rather Allen Robinson or Gabe Davis? What do you say, Justin?
Shit. Can I have both? I'll do this one. I think Allen Robinson, and that's because Trey White is not going to be in the game. So I think Cooper Kupp's going to get doubled up by a safety in Khair Elam, and I think that's going to leave Allen Robinson with the third cornerback on the other side. I think that's going to be a great matchup.
That is a great matchup. That ends up happening. And Justin, if I take your advice and it goes wrong, I'm coming to you. Nick, who would you rather?
Oh, Allen Robinson. I think he's got better chances of seeing the ball more. Plus that, there's been some emergence up in Buffalo of this guy named Isaiah McKenzie who might be stealing some passes, and then you got a better tight end in Buffalo in Dawson Knox versus Higbee in LA. So I would go Allen Robinson all day.
All right. Well, we're going to have a lot more of who would you rather during the season. I just thought I'd bust that out real quick. I had to throw that out there. I thought it was so funny. All right. So we're going to close out tonight. I do have some ADP risers, but you know what? I think we've talked about all of them enough tonight. So we're going to close things out. I hope you guys enjoy your drafts. I mean, this is what it's been all about. You've been hearing us yapping for the summer. We've had all this great stuff, which, by the way, thank you for everyone that came into our summer tour. I see you guys out there tweeting your the things that you said, which makes it really cool. I know they were questioning David Montgomery. I know a couple of the guys from the Chicago show were tweeting out that they had mentioned David Montgomery was struggling. So a few people came on and mentioned what things that they said during the summer. I thought that was cool. We did learn a lot during the summer, and we appreciate you guys for joining us for that. Now, Monday. So this is the important thing now that things are going to get switched up a little bit. I'm going to plug Monday's show. It is our NFL prediction show. We got Coach Mike Westhoff back again. He's going to be with us to predict the NFL season. We have two-time Emmy-winning TV producer Deb Witt. I was going to say this wrong. Witkus, if I'm saying that correctly. She's going to be joining us as well. Also, our friend from the summer tour, Lori Fitzpatrick, writer from USA Today, she's also going to be on. So we're going to have a lot of good time with our three guests. We're going to go through the NFL season, actually talk some NFL football, who's going to emerge. We're going to make our predictions, probably throw something fun in there as well. You know how we like to do things. Then Wednesday, we're going to get on to our normal fantasy schedule. It's going to be build up to Thursday Night Football. We're going to have some guests on. We're going to have champs or chumps. And then we're back in full swing, ladies and gentlemen. So hit that subscribe button. We are going to be bringing things loud and proud this year. Also, like I mentioned earlier, watch us on Sunday morning. Get your lineup start. Get your day ready. You watch us. You won't have to watch anything else. It'll be all said and done. We got you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. We can't wait for finally draft. Your draft will be completed, and it's on to fantasy and football season. We appreciate you, and we are out.
We're on a mission.
Right. That's because you have Mike.
We're on a mission. We're on a mission, guys.
Put on your life vest and stop anchor. Put on your life vest and stop anchor. Put on your life vest and stop anchor. Put on your life vest and stop anchor.
We're on a mission, guys.
Yeah, that's what it is.